Everyone, we are live. Arsenal fan circle here. Sunday. 3 point Sunday. You got to be happy with that, right? I mean, I'll take 3 points all day long, and especially in light of what we've seen at this weekend. We've seen a couple of slip ups from our rivals, let's say Manchester City, dropping points to Leeds on the road. It's going to be a tricky place to go to. We understand that, but Manchester, it's got to start with Manchester United here. I think we got to have a little bit of a sneaky laugh at Manchester United. Um, I don't want, I do not want Ole to get sacked. Things are going just fine in Manchester United.
Yes.
Introductions: Tony, Gary, I'm not here. Welcome everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Is that
Uh,
it?
all right, let's talk about United really quickly. Who wants to start? Mahir, I think you'd want to start on Man United first.
I feel honored. Thank you so much for granting me the chance. What can I say about Manure United, man? Banter FC getting thrashed and humiliated. You guys are trash. You guys are straight trash.
You know,
I don't have
it's
anything else to
banter.
say. I didn't
It's
agree with the red card though, but still to get trashed the way they got trashed, I mean, it's priceless. My brother supports Barcelona, my younger brother, and he walks past the TV and is like, "Ha ha!" Because they got such big mouths, and I mean, every club literally has them by their cajones. Yeah, that's
uh,
priceless. I got nothing else to say.
I thought you'd take a bit longer. I thought you would take the limelight and keep going with the Man United track.
No,
It's
I mean,
man,
what else can I say? But they're trash. I actually said that to somebody in one of my WhatsApp groups because they all support United.
mhm.
And it's my friends. And I just said, man, you guys are trash. And I was very close to getting aggressive voice notes and stuff. And they said, yeah, you guys aren't as good as, you guys aren't great leaders. I said, yeah, I know, but we still picked up 3 points and you guys got thrashed.
Yep, yeah. And you know
So,
it's banter. It's banter. We're going to lose certain games. They're going to banter us. So we're going to take this platform, this opportunity to banter them, right, Mahir?
of
Um,
course, definitely.
put a tweet out, Gary. Would you rather be a Man United supporter? Not you can't see the club going in the right direction, but they can definitely throw money at it. Or would you rather be, an Arsenal supporter? You can see the club is going in the right direction in terms of coaching, but we don't have a lot of money in the couch.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about coaching, right? It doesn't matter how much money you have. I mean, we're showing it, right? He's got his hands tied behind his back, and he's still able to create some magic, right? So, I mean, if he does get the money he needs, then that'll be good. I mean, at some point we're going to have to help him, right? But right now,
Mhm.
of what he's got, he's actually improved us. So I would say I'll take what we have right now. I mean, a lot of the Man U fans are, half of them are probably like, you know what, I need a new manager, and half of them are like, well, I can see what he wants to do. I just don't think they have the right parts. So, but I think we've got starts at the top and trickles down. So I'll take what we have right now, especially, but we have to temper our excitement, right? Because
Yep.
who beat
Yeah.
them? I don't want to mention the names. And how many times have we seen exactly that? We've seen
Yep.
games go exactly that way, where we're getting the red card, where we're getting the penalty shot, and we're like, so I don't want to create a monster,
Mhm.
but it may be too late.
Yep.
This
And
this may.
ideally, I would have liked Man United to beat the Scum, beat the Spurs. But that's the way. Points were dropped either way. We have two coaches who are past their sell-by date. I think Mourinho, he can come up with the odd result here and there.
Yeah.
Tony, Man United 6. No, Tottenham 6. Man United 1. And from my point of view, I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to still be at the wheel tomorrow.
Yeah, for me, I like to just draw each one of them, get a point. That's the softest penalty you'd ever see. That slap on it, even stun a mosquito, let alone kill one. Tottenham,
And
Tottenham's the one that should have got a red card for
yeah,
getting.
Lamella. we've all seen Lamela down through the years, the antics he gets up to, and hopefully he gets some retrospective action there in that situation. What really annoys me as well, Tony, is the commentators. They row in with whatever is called on the field. They don't have any kind of strength of character to be able to stand up to. No, that was a wrong call. VAR may have looked at it, but it's still a wrong call, Tony.
Only one of them said it was the wrong call. The other two kind of agreed with it. It's definitely the wrong call. VAR should have got involved because it just wasn't a penalty.
And as Andrew said from Dial Square, thanks for joining us, Andrew. Life contract for Ole, please, Tony. Let's keep him at the wheel. Let's keep him steering that ship. Because as long as we have coaches around us like Frank Lampard, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and Jose Mourinho, we're always going to be in with a shout. And we're going to get into our agenda today. We're going to get into that. The agenda is we're going to talk about our week in focus, Monday, Thursday, and today. We'll talk about the Sheff United game, league results around the league, and positions that we're in right now, because we do have a 2-week break coming up into lull. But bear in mind, people, we're going to have a prediction podcast. The next 2 podcasts, we're going to do predictions. Every panel member will be involved, and we're going to go through our top 20. We have a competition going. Get involved. You're going to hear about it. Predict the exact finish of every team in the Premier League from 1 to 20. It's not going to be easy to do, but we're going to throw in a shirt here and there to win it by the end of the season. Secondary contest will be predict Arsenal's future, our wins, our losses, our draws, goals for, goals against. If you get that correct perfectly, you're in with a chance to win something as well. So get involved. 2 subscribers only. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Get involved, and 100% free content here from us. We're giving you our hobby time right here. We love doing this. Big shout out to Tony, Gary, and Mahir for doing the watch along earlier today. So if you haven't had a chance to do the watch along, go check that out. I like the reactions when our players score, and Saka and Pepe especially. We're going to talk about Pepe because that was exciting for me. Well, let's get into the first topic, Mahir. Our week. Just take it really quickly. Monday, Thursday, and today.
Okay, so the game on Monday. Yes, we play the champions twice in a row, both on the Monday and on Thursday. Monday, I wouldn't say we played that bad. Like, I was not disappointed. I wasn't expecting anything. But then again, the only disappointing thing for me on Monday was, I like this comment by Norma. She said they spent 80 million on a fridge, basically, and they needed a sofa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we didn't play badly. I just wish that Laka could have finished one of his 2 opportunities. Yes, if you do give it to somebody like a Aubameyang, a more clinical finisher, it might have been 2-2. We might have scraped a win somehow by some miracle, but it wasn't that disappointing. Thursday's game, a little bit boring, personally, I feel, because wasn't much though, but like Liverpool could have won, and we just managed to scrape it through on penalties, sudden death penalties. And yeah, we go through to the next round, but it also means we play City twice. Just by some chance, we get City again. Even though I think in the next, after the interlull or after the break, we play Manchester United and we play City again.
Leicester in there as well. City are in there. So we have a tough 5 or 6 games to go. And maybe we'll just refine this section by Tony. We'll go Monday, Thursday, because we're going to get into today's game very soon.
Monday, I really expected us to get a point, but we didn't play good enough the first half. I didn't like the way Niles was playing real deep instead of 4 like Tierney and Bellerin were today. You want your wing backs advanced. I didn't like their positioning. Thursday, like Mahir said, it was a boring game, but we got the result in the end.
Yeah, a boring game, but Gary, we can't go toe to toe against Liverpool. We've seen the best team in the land, albeit their second team. We've seen the contrast in the team between a Monday and Thursday, and we had to play like that on Thursday a little bit in order to get the result.
Yeah, I think when we're playing those teams playing Liverpool back to back, we're expecting to get at least one win out of that. Typically that was going to be the Thursday game. The Tuesday,
Yep.
the Monday game was going to be. We're going to have to be perfect on those games. Play near perfect, and we weren't like that at all. I don't think we followed the game plan, and so you come out with a loss. If all things are equal, I don't think we can beat that team right now. We're ways away from that, but I think we showed that we did have opportunities, right, to even keep that game close, if not get some points from it. So the opportunities are there. I think we have to play to Arteta's desires, basically, if we want to get something out of those big time games.
Yeah, if Monday had gone a little bit differently, Mane may have gotten sent off. Ceballos may have come on a little bit earlier. Ceballos definitely did affect the game on Monday, provided 2 great chances for Lacazette. And on another day, Lacazette, I feel sometimes when he has to think about what he's doing and he's not instinctive in his finish, there's different outcomes between the two Lacazettes. There's a Lacazette who is instinctual and can score that goal, and then there's a Lacazette who's looking at the goalkeeper and thinking about it too much. But on another day, it could have been a draw there. We go on Thursday. We go and play quite well. I believe Arteta, now looking at the week, Arteta saved a couple of players, Gabriel and Ceballos, for Thursday, and that was, for me, that was good squad management. And today, with those 2 games that Xhaka did play, Xhaka was rested today. So I'm looking at Tony, he's got a little smile there. But comments here before we get into the next section.
It's kind of,
huh?
So it's kind of.
Sorry, go ahead, Tony.
Big echo there. Anyway, it's funny. Sheffield scored right after Saka came on.
Okay. Norma said tomorrow is a massive day for Arsenal's future of the club, and we're going to get into the transfer window a little bit later. We're going to save the difficult stuff for a little bit later, Gary, and we're going to talk about the good stuff.
Yeah, one thing I just wanted to say, if Manu was the manual of past years, would there have been 1 red or 2 reds or no reds in that game? Some say it shouldn't have been a red. Some say there should have been 2 reds. Have they lost that? The big team, and they're not the same Manu with that they were in the past. So
you mean the Manchester United that would interfere with the FA and Alex Ferguson calling them 3 times a day, every day?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I think that they've come down a little bit from their perch for sure.
Yeah.
Mahir,
is it Manchester United or Manchester United or Manure United?
The B and C. That's the correct answer. Do I win anything?
What does B and C mean?
Option B is Manchester and C is Manure United. So
Manure. All right. B and C. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I just want to thank Gary and Tony for joining me earlier. Unfortunately, as you guys did see, I did go missing for about 20-30 minutes. I mean,
or more.
I told Gary and Tony exactly what it was. There was a whole list of things going on at the same time, and I apologize, but the energy was absolutely electric.
Listen, I think I can speak for Tony and Gary, and Tony and Gary know this as well. I hope that, like your life and what's going on in your family is number one, more important than what we're doing here. We're just a bunch of mates here who get together and talk about Arsenal, and that's important. But family stuff's more important. If you've got something going on, that's fine. Go do it. You know what I mean? And we'll always.
Important, but I more meant technical difficulties, as the Roadrunner normally has. He has technical difficulties. That was a long list.
I'll leave that between you and Tony. Tony's the paymaster here. He's the tax man. Tony takes the fines like the BFG used to. You know what I mean? The hall monitor. Yeah, it's a great opportunity here for people. If you're liking the channel, slap a like on this video. Tell a friend, share the stream here on your social right now, and bring some people in. We're trying to grow this channel to about 1,000 by the end of the season, and we're trying to get to 300. We're about 20 away from 300 at this point in time, but let's do it. Let's do it now. Today, let's savor. We got to savor this. Every win is vital. Every win is important. And funnily enough, if you're going to reach fourth place and get 66 points, which is somehow what United got last season, with a 2-1 today, we are 13.5% there, Mahir. Add another 3 points to the kitty. 9 points from 12. Great start to the season.
I mean, I absolutely love the fact that there's a percentage, Gary, Tony. This percentage thing, I mean, fantastic, Ray.
We're gonna track it. It's my brainchild. We're gonna track it through the season, and we better not be stuck on 50% or 65% or 75% when we get into April.
Yeah, 4% is nothing, right? It's little, it's minuscule, but you add it up, you can get good. You can get big things from it. So, baby steps. We got one game at a time. One game at a time.
Even being nitpicking here, it's 4.5%, Gary. It's an extra half.
Ooh, sorry.
It all adds up. No, we definitely have to savor these wins, right, Gary?
Definitely. I mean, we've looked back in the past at the whole season and where we're going, as opposed to kind of what's going on right now. And I think, with what happened so far this year, I think it's easy just to take one game at a time, because you never know when you're going to have a 3-month gap of no football. So we'll take the one game at a time. We finished up before the interlull, so this has been pretty good for us, I believe. So
yeah.
United
only got 25 penalties last season. Wow. Wow. That's all I'm going to say.
Only in it.
Darren, good to see our legend Ian right here, and you owe me that chance, that dance. LOL. Okay. I said I'm agreeing with they got a penalty in the first minute and still lost 6-1. Yep.
It's not how you start, is it? Not at all. It's not how you start. So
they're the club that keep on giving. And Tony, did you see Woodward's face? Even behind the mask, you could tell what his expression was.
He wasn't a happy camper.
If we don't get Partey or our fifth is our ceiling, facts. I want to ask the question to the panel. I agree with what Lundberg is saying. If we don't get Partey or our fifth is our ceiling, I will agree with that. But if we do get players that are on the list B, C, D, E that are kind of the same ability, Zabuzalai, the Hungarian player from Salzburg, a couple of other players. Mahir, do you think if we get a couple of decent players, or maybe not the quality of Partey or our, that we can make top four then?
I don't know if I said this earlier, but basically what you do in negotiating period, like the beginning of the window, I would come up with a short list of players. The players that I would think, and then I'd go to the coach.
Yes.
I'd say, look, if we don't get our Partey, why don't we go after somebody like Joboslai as James Rowe, our analyst?
Yeah.
When he comes on, normally he explains to us the in-depth analysis of players. Somebody like Joboslai, I'm very disappointed that we didn't go after the Corey. The Corey was only 20 million. That would have been a hell of
Yeah.
an addition, much
I mean,
better than any of our defenders, midfielders.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're definitely starting to look a bit silly if we didn't go and get a Decore. We got strung along with the hour thing and the Leon president. Now, that's not to say that it's still not off the table. We could still get an hour if the Leon president allows the price to be dropped, but it's looking unlikely. You know what I mean? Tom, but we'll get into transfer. Well, everyone just hit the like button. Stay with us. We're going to talk about the Sheffield United game, and then we're going to get into transfers and other stuff. We have an agenda, and we have to stick to it, Tony. Now, Tony, question for you. Did we break Liverpool on Thursday night? They're losing 1-0 here. Is this where they slide off? Is this where they slide off the face of the earth?
It'd be nice to. I figured they would drop points this year. I figured they'd be closer to 80 points. But they started off a lot better than I thought they would. So hopefully they drop some points today.
Sam has said today was awful. We are struggling, and despite the points, is not looking great at the moment. Not creating enough for long periods of games. We accept all of that. Accept all of that for sure. But as long as we can get somebody in the door in the next 24 hours plus a couple hours at this point. We have about 27 hours, right, Tony?
Yep. I still hope we can get at least 4 or 5 out of the club.
I might be a tall order. I think the best we're going to look at is maybe 2 in and 2 out at this point. You know, and we're really suffering, Gary, from the Gazetas days still.
Yep, definitely. I mean, one thing I just wanted to say is, once again, I'm going to temper here my thoughts here. You know, Liverpool is down. Who are they down to? Who have we helped multiple times in the last like 2 or 3 months? We've helped them, you know, to some degree, either indirectly or directly. So, did we create our own? Did we create our own, our own monster, our own demon that we're going to have to break? So, you know,
kept them in the Premier League. We sold a goalkeeper to them.
Yeah.
So, you know,
we also allowed them to keep Grealish. So, you know, multiple things there. You know, so if we had beaten them, they get relegated. Grealish doesn't stay there. Got you. So yeah. So temper. Let's just temper our excitement. Yeah. But we definitely would like to see them lose points for sure.
Yeah.
All of them.
Shout out to the assembled Urban Ghost, Norma, Stephen Denham, Sam Greenwood. We're starting to form a great community here. People coming in. Igal, thanks for joining us as well. If we don't get a central midfielder, we will not get top 4 or top 6. I think if we keep what we have right now, we'd probably get top 6, but we would not get top 4. That's for sure. And I also think that something's going to get done tomorrow. I'm not saying ours coming in. I'm saying it's similar. There's players out there in the world that we can go get.
Hopefully it's not a Chelsea player.
Hopefully it's not a Chelsea player. I have to believe, Tony, he's toward the bottom of the list. He's our desperation boy. And in doing that, Gary, we would upgrade Chelsea because they would probably go and get Partey.
Well, I think if he's at the bottom of our list, typically I think our list starts from the bottom up. So,
typically, our young players.
Sorry.
Our young players like Saka are shining through. Surely we should give our young players coming up some credit too. Absolutely. And would it be the worst thing in the world if we promote Emile Smith-Rowe into that attacking midfield position, Tony?
I don't know if the kid can stay healthy or not.
Emile Smith-Rowe, he's had some injury worries, right?
Yep.
Steven said, don't spend on the second choice, just have to buy again next season. Arsenal should get their target, simple as we are not a small or poor club. No, we're not a small or poor club, but we don't have the mechanics, right, Gary, to...
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I if your top choice is the most expensive one, you gotta have some some secondary choices that are still gonna enhance the team. You know, I feel like there's more than one one, center fielder or two. There's only two center fielders that we've talked about, but I believe there's got to be more that we can also bring over if that's where we want to grow. And we do have players, right? We do have players now that can help if they get the playing time. But if they're not going to give them the playing time, then what? And you need to go out and buy. So why not buy? We definitely don't need. Do we need a starter? I don't know. We might need to. We might need players to bring up our depth. So. Yeah.
Darren met his neighbors and his cat jumped when Saka scored that incredible goal today. I was watching the three of you on the watch along, and I said a minute or two before the first goal that the goal is coming. I could feel the impact of Pepe coming on, Gary. Pepe instantly brought a little bit of life to that game.
Yeah, definitely. We've always been talking about the subs for Arteta coming in and actually changing the course of the game in terms of how things were going. It was getting pretty stale. Nothing changed much from the first half to the second. We were still getting the possession of the ball, but we were not able to do anything with it. And the changes actually worked. I mean, they're supposed to come in and they were supposed to work. I mean, I thought we would get ours in first, even though saw that Sheffield got the sub in before us, but. Bringing Pepe on definitely is what we needed. We needed a change of pace, and he gave it to us.
I think this is an important comment from the assembled. It will never change until the Cronkies leave. Who appointed Gazidis? Wasn't it the Cronkies? Yeah, and the Cronkies appointed Emery, but there is such a thing as appointing the wrong people. Even the best institutions appoint the wrong people, and you have to go through the process of finding that out. Sometimes you're not always going to be successful in acquiring the best players or the best backroom staff. It's something you have to go through a trial and error. Liverpool have been lucky in the last years. We've done some podcasts with Liverpool fans. 19, they've had 19 transfers come in the door. 15 of those have worked out for them. Only 4 have been duds, and that's down to vetting the correct players coming in. Hopefully assembled. We're on the road now where we're starting to bring the right players in, bring the right academy players through as well, Mahir, which is very important. And unfortunately, we're burdened by what Ivan Gazidis has done to us for at least another year. There's a number of players who will be leaving next summer, Mahir.
Yeah, basically, with all the there was rumors of Mustafi to Lazio, Kolasinac, who's straight trash also, to Bayer Leverkusen. If I'm not mistaken, Callum Chambers to, I think it was Fulham or Leeds.
Yeah.
And nobody's really left.
Yeah, Tony?
Socrates to Fulham too. He turned them down.
Yeah, and the problem has been, and for the last few years, and hopefully it can change in the next 2 years, Arsenal has been a nice place for players to be, whether they're playing or not. They like the surroundings, and they don't want to leave, Tony.
Yeah, who wanted like £100,000 a week?
Yeah, they've been getting paid very, very well, and to a lot of the players, the attitude has been incorrect. They're just happy to be there and pick up the check. The ambition has not been within them, and I think slowly but surely that Arteta is sort of finding those players out, and it will take a year or two yet before we have completely Arteta's team.
Yeah, I think today showed that Kolasinac is probably gone since he wasn't in the lineup at all.
Yeah. Igala said Samare is not included in the trip. The midfielder could still leave by Monday in negotiations with a club. Gary, it always seems to be Napoli. We always seem to be vying with Napoli. So Samare could go to Napoli or ourselves.
Yeah, we seem to only pick from the same tree sometimes. I think there's a lot of players out there that we should be looking at. So I think I have pretty much lowered my expectations that more changes will come. I'll be pleasantly surprised. I'll be happy if it does. I just think it's a little too late in the game. And if we're finding new players out, who seem to have had, you know, the two players that we thought we were going to get on the radar for a long time. If there are others out there, then it doesn't seem like at least that information's getting out. So I resigned to the fact that, you know what, this might be the team, and he's going to have to do as much as he can with what he's got. I mean, I think he can improve the team, and if he can improve the team 2 spots, 4 spots, maybe we'll get where we want to be. So.
Aston Villa has a penalty, Gary.
I just see on here. I think Norma just said it's about to be 2-0 here. So.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
No penalty given. So.
Oh, okay.
VAR, huh?
Oh, there we go. Yeah. See, and it works against us again, right? We're not even playing.
Watch it on the screen.
The VAR's taking away some of our happiness.
Let's talk about that real quickly, Gary. VAR it kind of spoils the game a little bit. So you think that you're a goal up where you got to hold on and wait, or you got to be an expert on seeing whether it's offside or not.
Yeah, I think they're using VAR to make the game perfect, as opposed to correct blatant mistakes.
Yeah.
Things that you can't even see with the naked eye live, they're correcting, and I don't think it needs to be corrected. I just think you want to use it to better, to make sure that blatant mistakes aren't there, handballs and stuff like that may have never happened or did happen, things that, are pretty bad. I don't think, like the offsides and all those types of things. I think it doesn't have to be, it's not a perfect game. They're not doing a VAR in every play. So why, so why is it needed?
The game was not perfect when it was in the hands of human beings, and it's still not perfect when it's in the hands of human beings.
Yeah, so it's and once again, like you said, it's taken away from the game. I mean, somebody makes a miraculous shot. Next thing you know, you find out that one of the players was offsides, touched the ball, goals disallowed, and you're like, wait a second, but the defense, you can see the defense let up when they know they put the other team offsides. Next thing you know, they're scrambling to catch up. Goal may happen or not, but still, you don't know that, and it's hard to for all these years play and expect the whistle to come, and then all of a sudden, the whistle's not coming. I mean, how we talk about how the referees in England aren't as good. How did they make that transition so quickly? But the other things that we expect them to do on a regular basis, they haven't been able to do. I find that interesting.
Yeah, indeed. My ear, is that incense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I thought you were blazing up.
I mean,
very peculiar there for a second. Hey, Mahir, what's your feeling? Do you think Bellerin will be staying or going, or do you see a major one of our major players leaving in the next 24 hours?
Personally, to answer Darren's question, I don't think Bellerin will be going anywhere.
No.
Right now, Bellerin will be staying.
Yep.
And do I see him going at some time? Possibly, but there aren't a lot of other right backs that I could possibly see. I know.
Do you see any one of our players?
A lot.
Do you see Nelson going? Do you see a Reece Nelson or a Lacazette going?
Do I see Reece Nelson or Lacazette? Maybe Reece, yes. Lacazette, maybe. And what I'm on the fence about him is, do we have ambition to bring in somebody like a Jovic or a Edouard from Celtic? Gary, Tony, you have to ask yourself that same question. Do we have the ambition? If we are haggling over Awar and Partey, is somebody going to come out with like, oh, we've just sold 5 trash players and we've signed even one world-class player that's going to elevate us? It
all depends on how big the basket is. I think our basket isn't that big. We don't have that many eggs in our basket right now. I mean, I think right now it seems like we had about 4 eggs in our in our basket. We've used 2 of them, and we don't replace them with 2 other new ones. So that's what I'm seeing. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they are looking at other players that are out there, especially that are in the price range that they want. we see that there are players out there that don't cost as much. That if they're going to take a risk on Gabriel, and that seems to have panned out so far, then why not do that for other positions on the field where right now we don't have the depth we want in the midfield that they're planning that they're using. We may have it. We're not using what we do have, so maybe they have to go out and buy. That's the other part to this, right? As we say, we've got some young players that could get playing time, but they're not. So obviously the team hasn't gone down that road. So I think
we have a lot. We have a lot to talk about today. So this is going to be a great show. And we're already 34 minutes in it, and it's good stuff already. The Assemble, my opinion is the board created a rumor, and appoint the wrong personnel. Blame them for the mistake, and the cure is always the cheap and similar player, but never the player who the rumor started with.
Alert! If I see this correctly, guess what? The top team in the league that we think of is down even more.
Whoa! But Gary, can I say something? This is what happens. Sometimes you have to be humble. I love laughing at Tottenham, and I love laughing at United because they're simply not humble. Now the same thing with some Liverpool supporters are also big mouthed, and this is how you get humbled.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I mean, you can be happy with other people's failures, but just remember, it sometimes comes around, and especially the fact that we're gonna play these teams again, right? We're playing every team that we play. We're gonna play them again, or we're gonna play them first time soon. So are they gonna come in with the same? They're gonna come in snake bitten, and stung and ready to attack. So we have to be ready for that as well. So yes, I do. I can enjoy it, but the players can't.
That's why you give the banter knowing you're going to get it back at some point, Gary.
Or in our case, we're trying to just, we're trying to right the ship, right? We're trying to balance the books because we've had it for a little while now. Maybe it's our time to get it back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's our turn, baby. Sam just dropped a great comment here, which makes me shake my head a little bit. Leaks have been coming out of Wenger's new book. Wenger had accepted Klopp to take over from him, but changed his mind to win over the increasingly angry fan base made Wenger stay. LOL.
That is terrible. That is terrible. Your fan base cannot control your team. That'll never work. That will never work. If that's how things are going, then why don't they just hand us out some shares, give us some of this profits, and then let us run this thing.
Clearly, Gary, that is what happened in the end with Arsene Wenger. He was sort of asked to leave. He was asked to because things had become untenable at that time.
I always say the first thought is usually the right one. And the fact that he actually thought it was a good time to move on was probably the right decision at the time. I mean, if that's what I did put my order in for the book, so I think November it's supposed to come in. I'm happy to I'll be happy to read that. But it just shows you sometimes your first thought usually your right one. I mean, it's like when you have a decision whether you should put a touch on the ball or just shoot it. Shoot it.
And what I'll ask you, Gary, is if you come across some interesting points to make notes of them, and it'll be great topics to bookmark throughout the season.
Definitely.
One more time, Wenger is pure scum if he denied us Klopp. Sort of a selfish move on Arsene Wenger's part, in my opinion. If we had a promising manager under Jurgen Klopp, and every manager is always going to want to have another season, another opportunity, and selfish in a way, I'm going to say, another opportunity to make things better when we had been clearly in decay in at least 2010, 2011. I started to think differently about Arsene Wenger when we lost our opening day game against Aston Villa, funnily enough. It was a 3-1 defeat on the opening day, and during those years we didn't have very good opening days. So, but that's for another podcast.
Yeah, that would be a good discussion. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Only cared about his 8 million a year, not the good of the club. Yeah, and there was definitely a lot of pride and ego involved there in the latter years.
Yeah. This
Imagine,
is sorry.
imagine us now, Gary. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Now I was going to say this is similar to like a player who stays one more year, right? Stays just one more year. I can do this one more year, and their heart was already gone a couple of years ago. You know, their love for the game is gone. We're seeing that, right? We got a player sitting around who doesn't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't want to play anymore. If he wants to play, there's ways around that we can get. You know, but he doesn't want to play. So, and then you put him out there, and then you don't get what you want.
Tony Norman said Partey is demanding 200 a week, and Atletico can't afford that because they're taking pay cuts. So, how are they confident Partey will stay? Are we gonna? How close do you think we are to the release clause, Tony?
I just think we refuse to pay it. We've had 17 months we've been interested in
Yeah,
a player.
but how much do you think? How much money do you think we have in the club now? How much money have we built up? How much equity have we built up? I'm
Well,
thinking around the 35 to 37 mark that we probably built up at this point in time.
well, we had over 200 million in the bank, so I don't think we've lost all that. The money's there. We just refuse to spend
Yeah,
it.
the money is clearly there, but the club is going to operate at a loss again next season, and they're trying to protect themselves against the environment that the football finds themselves in right now. They can go out and spend that money, but they will be in a huge amount of loss. What's the working capital you think they have right now, Tony? Holding your feet to the fire.
Probably about 40 million.
So, would you think that we could possibly just need to raise 10 more million and shed one of our players tomorrow in order to get Partey?
It still wouldn't surprise me if Lacazette didn't play today, didn't get on.
That's interesting. I mean, Lacazette did play. Did Lacazette play on Thursday night? He didn't really play on Thursday night, so that's interesting. Gary, what's your take on the next 24 hours? What do you think will happen?
Well, I mean, didn't we just help Atletico Madrid just a second ago? Like, just like, yesterday. So if that does happen, and I think I saw a report that Hector Herrero, I think, is the player that needs to leave or something like that, will help them. So if that's all happening, then maybe they will accept us, with a little delay in some of the payments or whatnot that are required. I understand, like, we wanted all of our money now, but they're not willing to do the same on the other end. So somebody's not putting their foot down and at least kind of negotiating here. They're kind of just taking it, oh, all right, whatever you say. When we're not that desperate. We're not that desperate right now. If we haven't made a change yet, and we may have to go in with what the team we got. So I don't think we're desperate. The team at least doesn't seem to be that desperate to make a change. So if they're willing to hold back, then they should get what they need. Yeah.
Lombard Camp said giving Terrero to Atletico on loan and not getting a fee or included in the Partey deal is criminal. Whoever made that decision has blood on their hands.
So there you go. So that's really nice, isn't it? Once again, Arsenal is Santa Claus. If you ask for, you will receive. A team that is struggling for finances is looking at us and asking us to do this to take on the hit. All right. I mean, I hope the buyout clause is more is something that's guaranteed to happen, and that the price actually matches the losses that we got this year from no loan fees. If that happens, then you're out money for the year that you could have gotten. Maybe he could play for us. I don't know, but
And unfortunately, Martinez has been quality versus Liverpool so far.
Yeah, we don't want to hop on that too much. We've got Burnley now. Burnley's done a lot for us. Amy was quality during the last part, but let's not hop on it too much. About the whole Torreira thing, guys, it's a loan deal with an option to buy. So there's no obligatory. Am I saying that right? Obligatory option to purchase for them. So I don't understand that whole deal. I don't know if I discussed it with, I don't know, Gary, if we discussed it earlier on just before we started, but we were like, how does it make any sense that we giving them Torreira, our best midfielder, clearly, and we want Partey, but they aren't even offering us Partey on a loan. They just want 50 million for Partey, but we're still giving them Torreira on loan with an option to buy.
Yeah, I think this is where, I mean, I can't think of the word right now, but this is where you need to be cutthroat. I mean, we seem to be cutthroat in the sense that we won't go out and spend money we don't have. So that same sort of discipline needs to be there when we're buying, right? We know we can't spend as much, but we know there's ways to work around it. Torreira seems like a good bargaining tip to get what we want. They want him. They want him. They do. They said they want him, right? We want one of their players. They don't want that. They were okay to let that player go. At some point, there's got to be a balance here, and things work out, right? Like it can't. And that's who's negotiating this thing if it's even happening.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question, Gary. Who is negotiating? Are we missing? Dare I say it? Are we missing Raul and his ways?
We just lost Tony and Mahir, so
yeah, we're two down at halftime.
I think this weekend. I think this is the transfer weekend is just pulling a lot of bites off. It's the networks are just not able to handle right now.
Yeah,
everybody is hitting refresh on their Twitter feeds and their browsers, and everyone wants to know what's happening.
Let's get into that then. I wanted to talk about the Sheffield United game, but the elephant in the room dictates Twitter and the transfer window. What we need to talk about in terms of the transfer window.
Yeah, looks like Liverpool is tied. Is got one back. So
Liverpool is 2-1 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mo Salah.
And they were always going to come back. And Mo Salah, he should have scored against us on Thursday because I thought he did quite well on Monday. So he was due a goal, and we see how that happens. Sheffield United were due a goal after 4 games, but thankfully we got out with a win.
Yeah, we didn't have to oblige.
No, we didn't have to oblige.
We could have given them the black coal. Wait, now I see 3-1. So, Norma, you are on this thing. Wow. This is what happened. This is what Liverpool does, right? This is what they did to us. We scored, and what happened? They immediately came back and said, "You know what? No. This is not how it goes. They're dictating the game." And you like to see that from your own team, but we're seeing it.
This is a great point from Norma here. The option to buy is key because of Torreira. If Torreira turns out to be quality at Madrid, Arsenal can dictate the price for Torreira like they can demand 40 million. So,
are we sure that's actually, we don't know if that's part of the deal, or is that actually, do we know if that's actually official, that it is part of the buyback deal, that, it's not set in stone for sure, right?
No, it's not. It's definitely not set in stone. So which means he can either turn out to be true quality, which ups his price, which means they have an option that they can buy him for an increased price, or he could turn out to be a flop and just come back to Arsenal, basically.
Mm-hmm. Lumber Camp, it's so depressing having such a good start this season because we all know what's going to happen. Listen, we all know there's 6 games to come that we can't lose our stuff about. We have 6 tough games coming up. Then we're not going to win all these 6 games. 6 games is 18 points. I think we're going to get 10. We'd be doing well to get 9 or 10 points out of those.
Okay, so
games.
Yeah. Can we go through the list very quickly to see if what we all think?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one is going to be Leicester.
I think the next one back is probably United.
I honestly think with the state that they're in, let's just go take out the trash. Let's take it out. but at the same time keep Ollie in a job.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go through the games. Not prepared here for this eventuality.
It's actually. I have it here. It's actually Man City. So we have Man City, Leicester City, Man United, and then Aston Villa, and then just to put a little cherry on top, Leeds United. So we've got basically a string of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. 5 games. Well, I'll go with the first 5. Those first 5 games are, they're going to be tough for us. They're going to be tough for us, and I think also we have Europa League games in the middle of that as well. All right. So
and we're gonna go through the Europa League stuff as well.
Yeah.
We will be let down yet again. Yeah, we're gonna lose 3. We're gonna lose 3 of those games. I'll tell you that now. Some of those away
So
games.
we're probably losing to Man City.
Yeah.
I honestly think we can go and beat Manchester United. I think we can take out the trash there. Leeds is going to give us a tough game. Leicester just depends on what form they're going to be on. And who's the other one?
Or they'll win them all. Come on.
Yeah, I went through and I don't. If we take this at one game at a time, I think we'll do better than you think. I don't think
Exactly.
3 losses seems a lot to me right now, based on what I've seen and based on what I feel like Arteta is going to do. I feel like our bench is pretty strong to help us with those Europa League games.
What happened to Ray being optimistic?
I'm optimistic for the season. I looked at this the fixture list and I said, this is actually perfect because we're going into the season strong. All of the things we've done, we tied down Aubameyang, which I wonder what he's feeling right now. He would like to see another couple coming in tomorrow. He must have assurances. He must have assurances of midfield help coming in. He must have assurances. 4-1 now to Villa.
My God, what on earth is going on? Were we like the club that, like you guys said now, broke them down a little bit, or what is going on, guys?
Well, you know what? It could be just like once again, this is how you got to run through the tape, right? Is Liverpool like looking to this break, thinking, "All right, we're almost there," and Aston Villa's like, "You know what? We don't have time to. We can't give up games. We can't give up points because this is what it looks like. I mean, this is not. I'm not watching the game, but that can't be the team that we played on Monday.
Yeah, they have 74%.
Well, you know what? It doesn't have Mane in there, and
Mane's not in there. Okay.
We saw how he improves them, and I was thinking about this during the week. Mane, if he gets injured, obviously he's out for 2 weeks now, quarantining. If he's not in the team, Liverpool are not the same team without Mane.
I did. Yeah, I saw his name out there, but it didn't really click that. You know what? He's not playing, and as much as it's Mo Salah and Virgil, they can't put as much pressure without both of those guys up top there.
Okay, so I want to get back to the point here. My optimism, Tony, is for the latter part of the season, halfway on. We're getting all of the tough games out of the way. We've been away to Liverpool. We're going to be away to United, away to City. I think Leeds as well. We're going to be away to Leeds. Tough games we're going to get out of the way by December. We have a tough October and November, no doubt about it. And I think we're going to drop games. I'm going to stick to, losing 3 games maybe in this next 5.
Yeah, I'm not with you on that one, but I do agree that we're gonna have a tough stretch. I kind of felt like it would be later on. I feel like now we're still as fresh as we're gonna be. I don't know. Mahir is
sideways, bro.
Mahir is a little on. You're on your side. I think your phone. You need to.
Sorry,
did he freeze? Looks like he froze.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I froze up.
We look better sideways.
Yeah, no, you know what? I feel like we need to get some of these wins that we're not expecting now, because I feel like as things pick up and the games pick up in those Thursday games pick up, we're not going to have the depth that we're going to want. So until that time, I feel like that we're gonna steal one of these wins or two, or even get some points out of games we shouldn't have early.
We're definitely going to steal some wins where we don't expect it. And the unpredictability of the Premier League is amazing right now at the start of the season. I think no crowds are having a definite effect on results. I believe that for sure. It has benefited us as well. I think our away record will improve. Right here. We just take Grealish or Hour?
Can I take both of them?
No.
I would love Awar, but if it's more realistic to get Grealish, he's also quality. So
yeah. I would take Hour over Grealish, but Gary.
As Mahir said, I don't think we could lose out with either one, because we need a player with those skill sets regardless. So right now, I just whatever whoever's at the top of the list, can you get one of them and then maybe get another one? But let's get one first.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like Grealish would come in and be able to play right away, and that's what we want. Anytime we bring in a player from out of the country, there's always a transition period that we need to get them acclimated to the area, acclimated to the sport, and all those types of things. I mean, Grealish he's seasoned, he's ready to go. I can't see him leaving. I don't, because for 80 mil, yes. But I don't see anybody spending that on him. So I don't think he's going anywhere. And if this game continues the way it is, why would you let Torreira go and not get a loan fee? I mean, those are things you just don't expect to happen, and I don't expect them to let him go. So, but they could, but I'll be surprised.
Tony, Grealish or Hour? Hour. Okay. If the strangest stars join together and Arsenal sign their targets, would you feel safe for the Cronkies moving for Arsenal forward?
No. And my reason being behind that is that it still wouldn't make me feel safe, because they can do this. Oh, now we've signed 2 stars, and then just not sign anybody after that, and just bring in bang average.
Wouldn't bringing those players in give you that assurance that they are backing the manager? Hi, Tanner.
Nah.
Hello, Tanner.
Nah. Tanner.
No. Do you trust?
I leave the house for an hour to take the dogs to the park, get a new phone, and the world of football has absolutely erupted. What the hell is going on today? Jesus! All I'm going to say is this. Ainsley Maitland-Niles taking penalties against Liverpool has ruined them. Absolutely ruined Liverpool.
I said it in the broader sense. I said it, Tony, did we just break Liverpool on Thursday night?
Wow. Man, oh man. I'm just getting in here. I have not seen any of what you guys have talked about. So I'll let you guys go ahead, and whenever you're ready to bring me in, bring me in.
Sure. Tanner, we've been kind of all over the shop. There's no structure to this today, and it's great. We're experiencing 3 points. It's brilliant. We've achieved 13.5% of our target for this season. Another 4.5% equals 3 points. And Tanner knows we had a podcast last year where I basically said we need to win 3 out of every 5 games, and we'll be on target for top 4. And that's where we're at right now. We're on target. We're basically in the middle of a transfer quagmire here as well, and just peppered with Aston Villa doing a madness against Liverpool.
Absolutely insane.
Just before we move on, like that, the Assemble's question about if we did get our targets, how would they feel about the Cronkies? I still wouldn't trust it. Because I just feel like there's nothing that's shown there's no precedence that's shown that yes, it works today, but tomorrow will be okay. I kind of feel like we'll have to be on our toes, tippy toes the whole time, because you never know when the bottom's going to break below us. So
I would rather a silent owner that does help the club rather than an owner that interferes. I'll go to Tony first, then Tanner on that. If the Cronkies help Arsenal sign their targets, Tony, would you feel safe with the Cronkies moving forward?
I think we got the right board people now with you and Arteta having more of a role. I kind of trust them more than the Cronkies.
Yeah. The Cronkies. I like that.
The Chronicles of Arsenal.
Chronicles of the Cronkies, Tanner.
Yeah. My stance on the Cronkies is softening a little bit. I think you have to look at the overall body of work with where we are. And it is not a matter of the Cronkies not spending money. The problem is the Cronkies' money has been spent poorly. And I've said this before, Ray, here with you guys, it's been poor recruitment. It hasn't been lack of funds. And one thing that I want everybody to remember is I did a little research because a lot of people want to, slate the Cronkies because of the new stadium in Los Angeles for the Rams, SoFi Stadium, and this, that, and the other thing. Well, there were a lot of loans taken out to build that stadium. That was not Stan taking money out of his own pocket to build the stadium. But the Emirates Stadium, yes, there were loans taken out, but Stan put a lot of his own money up for that stadium. And I said this about a year ago. Cronky's initial large investment into this club was the Emirates Stadium. And it was something that this club desperately needed to keep up with the times and allow more fans into the stadium. So it's, for me with the Cronkies, it's always been more about the recruitment. It's been Ivan Gazidis. To a degree, it's been Arsene Wenger not getting in the right players and not spending the money properly. So if you, and I put this question to the panel, I put this question to the chat, everybody in the chat box and anybody watching on replay. If you owned a business and you sort of, like Ray said, you were the silent owner, you sat back, you put people in a position to make decisions on your behalf, you handed them, I don't want to say blank checks, but you get the idea to say, okay, go make us better. Mm-hmm. And you didn't, and those people didn't make your business better. Would you then not be hesitant to continue handing out blank checks? So like I said, I don't like the self-sustaining business model in the world of professional sports, especially professional football. I would like very much to see a little bit of ownership in investment, a little more ownership investment into the club. If this comes down to a matter of with Alwar and Partey, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of going on here a minute, just bear with me and I'll shut up in a minute. With Houssam Alwar and Thomas Partey, if we can't get these deals over the line because of it won't be because of 10 million pounds. I promise you that. The KSE is not going to sit back and say, wait, 10 million pounds is going to get both of these deals over the line. Okay, here's 10 million pounds. They're going to do that. So if they don't get over the line, it'll be because of 50 million pounds, something like that. I am starting to think that this has more to do with the other two clubs, with Lyon and Atletico Madrid, than it does with us.
Lyon. Yeah, the Lyon president.
Real quick to Sam's point. Sam, you need to do a little bit of better research on this, my friend. Stan Kroenke put up, it wasn't much. Most of the stadium was financed through loans and credit, but Stan Kroenke put up a little bit of his own money. It was part of the initial investment into the club, was the stadium.
And we still owe 160 million on it.
Yeah, yep. It's still not paid off apparently. One question for you, Tanner. How much money do you think we have of working capital? Do you think we have right now to spend tomorrow?
Oh man, that's a really tough question.
Well, I'm not going to hold you to it. It's a tough question.
I mean, it's purely speculation on my part. Whatever answer I give you, I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of probably 50 or 60 million.
So we have enough release clause right now, you think?
Yeah.
Without moving anyone on tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're around 35, 37, and we need to generate something to have money to spark a release clause.
It's probably a lot of wishful thinking on my part that we have that much, but again, pure, and I'm basing this off of past transfer windows. We've always heard that, we only have 30 million, we only have 40 million, we only have 20 million. And yet we always come out and somehow or other we're able to spend 100 million. So
Lumbercamp is disappointed. We've been shopping in Poundland since 06. Pay off the stadium and said with complete fire.
I just don't get this idea that we've been shopping in Poundland. We just spent 72 million pounds on Pepe last year. And then people complain that it's being paid in installments. That's smart. I'm sorry, that's smart business. That's just smart business.
Yeah, I guess one thing I wanted to say before I lose my train of thought here is that we're talking about the Cronkies, and yes, they have given the keys to employees of theirs who, at least from what we can tell, haven't been able to do the right thing, and it seems to take an act of God for them to actually let them go, And it wasn't like that. This was just a one-time thing. The Pepe deal. There were signs long ago that things just weren't going right for the team. It wasn't, it wasn't just last year that we missed out on the Champions League. It's been multiple years in a row, and we've been dropping in the table consistently. And I think we're at a point now where we may hopefully have hit the bottom and we're going back. So like Tony says here, we definitely have been spending the money, and of course incorrectly spending the money, because what we're seeing is that we're putting investments in that are pretty high risk, and then leave us basically essentially with our pants down trying to figure out what to do next, because we can't move on. Right? We've got a lot of players that aren't playing, can't play, shouldn't play, and we can't do anything about it. Nobody wants them, and we're stuck. So it's and I do believe that you at some point you'll take a risk. I know they did what was not good for them when they paid off the loan, but this is a good time to put a little money in when things are it's a good time to put some money in, because I think you're going to get back your ROI is going to be pretty big, I think. If Arsenal is able to finish in that top four, you get that European dollars and the marketplace changes. So this is the time to do it. I mean, what was it I just saw the other day? KSC, their revenue went up over $340 million, this in the last number of months. So money is being made. Whether or not it's getting trickled over to the team, there is money there. There's no reason why they can't put it in there if they want to. But I like, once again, the proof is in the pudding. They are allowing the teams to spend a lot of money. They spent, they've ill-advised payments and plans they've done, and they've kind of put us in a situation where now I think we're trying to do the right thing, and we just don't have the funds to do. We don't have discipline about this, right? We're pretty disciplined about what we're doing now, it seems to me. And hopefully that's true, that, if we can't spend because we don't have it, then maybe are you going, is the apple too high up the tree and you need to find an apple further down that still gets you what you want, which is to improve the team. Do you want to improve the team, or do you want to, kind of...
That's a great point, by the way. That's a great point, Gary.
Just to tie up everything here, Lumbercamp, we were shopping in Poundland between 2006 and I would say 2014, up until that Suarez 40 million plus one, which was a joke. I think since then, as Tony rightly pointed out, we have spent the money. There's not been an issue in terms of spending money. There's a big difference between spending money and spending it correctly, and that is our issue.
I just want to reiterate that point. Don't get caught up as a supporter. Don't get caught up in the numbers that are being bandied about by different media outlets, whether it be Arsenal, whether it be Chelsea, whether it be Liverpool, Manchester City. Don't focus on the number. Focus on the player. Because I think a lot of our fans also get hung up on, well, look at what Chelsea did. They've just spent £220 million. Well, we're kind of seeing how that's working out for them now, aren't we?
Plus, Tanner, look at the game today. We have a player, our most expensive player, score a goal, but we also have one of our cheapest players in Saka.
There you go.
Score a goal.
It's all, look, I absolutely lost my mind yesterday on Twitter. I won't hold back in all of the criticism and everything that I'm getting for it. Fully deserved. Bring it on. Let's go. I'm not gonna hide from it. It's out there, and I'm not.
Can we just pretend yesterday never happened? Can we just?
I mean, it's out there, but I'll tell you what. Lee Dixon responded to me this morning and said, "Chill, man. Just relax." So when Lee Dixon tells you to chill, and I tweeted this out, when Lee Dixon tells you to chill and breathe, you chill and breathe. So guess what? I'm chilling and I'm breaing. All right.
That's amazing.
Lumber camp. I'm right there with you. I remember those days. Vieira, Campbell, on.
Oh yeah. Yep.
We all remember that. A lot of portion of the blame has to go to Arsene Wenger. I have to say that he was a little bit reticent to spend money.
Ownership doesn't have a say in recruitment. Ownership's going to sign off on the money being spent. They don't have a say in recruitment. Stan Kroenke and Josh Kroenke aren't coming in and saying to, at the time then it was excuse me, Wenger and Gazidis saying, no, I don't like that player. I want you to go get this player. They don't know who those guys are. So they don't have any say in the recruitment. Is it coincidence? I hate to say it, but it's poor recruitment. I wouldn't say it's coincidence, but that example.
Does anybody think that going forward, based on what just happened, that signing of Suarez and Marie would happen going forward? Those types of deals where players haven't been able to get on the field.
Yeah.
Did show some glimpses, and then we sign them. And I know we're still trying to get them onto the field right now. Do you think it's going to happen going forward with the way we are, at least the way we're structured now?
I think, Gary, that now if Raul is not at the club, those deals don't happen. That's my feeling.
Yeah, right now. I think those two deals have Raul Sanllehi's fingerprints all over them.
Yeah,
and I think that's part of. And I think that's part of the reason that he's gone.
Tanner, just to bring you fully up to pitch here on what's been happening, Sam did tell us about Wenger's book, and in 2015, whatever time it was, we did have the opportunity to get Jurgen Klopp, but Arsene Wenger wanted to stay through his own ego. What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, look, these guys all have big egos, and Arsene Wenger was given a lot of rope, and at the end of the day, in the last 3 or 4, maybe 5 years, he hung the club with it.
Yeah.
I love Arsene Wenger for what he did for the game of football in general. I love what he did for this club, but his time was up easily 5 years before he actually left the club. I heard a rumor that Wenger stuck around because of certain sponsorship deals, just certain corporate deals that we had where they were in because of Arsene Wenger. And if he leaves, they pull their money. At the end of the day, then I don't want to be in bed with that company, because now that company's dictating to me the terms under which I can operate my business, my franchise. So, look, it's kind of a coulda, shoulda, woulda. Hindsight will always be 2020. We know that. Back to my tweet from yesterday and kind of losing my mind about things. Hindsight's 2020. Look back on it now, and I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't have said some of the things I said, but it is what it is. And but how do we know are we convinced that Jurgen Klopp would still be here? You know, I mean, are we convinced that Jurgen Klopp would have done
not with the team ahead, not with the team between him and the Kroenkes, he wouldn't be here because they probably would have, made his mind just explode because he's like, I have a plan here. I have things I know we can do, and I know based on what I see we can do it. Let me do it, because I think that's where he would have been another one of these where the manager would have had to have actually done the things himself, because if not, they would have been dictated to him, and he probably would have suffered for it and looked bad.
That's another great point by Gary. And let's look back here a little bit on the structure of the decision making going on at the club over the course of the last 3-4 years. Okay, really since Arsene Wenger's last 2 years into the Unai Emery brief era and up to now, and we've really gone through 3 different structures of how to operate the club, only to really kind of come full circle back to 2 main figureheads being Edu and Mikel Arteta, essentially running the football operations of the club. So I think, Josh and Stan are trying to find the right balance between what they think, which is really based in American sports because they are 2 very different forms of business, but also making sure that we're keeping up with the European Joneses, so to speak, and doing things on the right way, on the right level for European football. So it's been a little bit of trial and error, really. But I think there again, it's another way to look at KSE and say, okay, I really think they're trying to get this right. I really, really do. I think they want this club back in Champions League football, competing for the Champions League, not just qualifying, but
yeah. And this is just I feel Arsene Wenger was the one who if he would have went to the board and said we need A, B, and C, they would have went and bought it for him. But he always, to our detriment, we only got checked that year, and Leicester went out and won the league, and we couldn't beat Leicester. We had Olivier Giroud who went dry for 14 games or whatever it was. And look, Tanner and I disagree. We love each other, but we disagree as well, on certain things. And that's the way it is. But at the end of the day, you have respect for each other and you move on.
Absolutely, yeah.
The point
Disagreement is good. Nobody wants to listen to 5 guys who agree with each other on everything.
Tanner, was it? I just want to make sure. Did I see it right? Somebody followed you and then unfollowed you in the same
Oh yeah, it was like I've never followed then unfollowed someone so quickly.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Tremendous, absolutely tremendous. And then I just responded. I was like, "Well, hey, thanks for the time. I appreciate it."
Tony, Stat DNA working for some clubs like Brentford and Leicester. There are merits to it, but you also need crowd players to check that. What you see links with what you want. Tony?
I think the first player we got using Stat DNA was Gabriel. The first Gabriel, then Mustafi and
you mean Martinelli, Tony?
No,
Gabriel Paulista.
Paulista.
Oh, Paul. Oh.
He was the first.
Yeah, I'm all
He
right.
was the first ever Gabriel that we had. We've had Gabriel since Gary, right? But he was the first one. I put a tweet out earlier. Gary, would you rather be a Manchester United fan? The club has not been run very well. But would you rather? But you could spend money, or would you rather be Arsenal and have to penny pinch a little bit? But the club is being run correctly.
Yeah, I would go, and even not even being run well, but having a really good coach and manager, and that's what we have. I believe we have a young one. He's gonna trip up a couple of times, but I feel like he's well on his way. And if you go back to the Kroenkes, they had a new manager, a new coach as well when they went to the Super Bowl. That was like his 2nd or 3rd year in the league as a manager. So I think they've seen it. Now hopefully they're seeing it again. We're able to show that it works. But I'll take a manager over a process every day.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that,
Aaron.
Yeah.
Now and you got through that. Okay. So serious stuff. So if you need to
thanks for joining us, and hopefully we can help with that. Help get back and feel better with our talk.
Being an Arsenal fan, Gary, does not help with these situations.
No,
No.
no, it doesn't. I mean that the last 10 minutes of that game definitely didn't help. But and the first 40, 50 minutes of that game didn't help. As soon as Pepe came in, things looked nice, but then we kind of went back in our old way. So it's kind of a whole up and down with us today, until we can, like I said, until we can play in 90 minutes, and it doesn't have to be a perfect 90, but we need to be able to play 90 minutes and not have, the last 10 minutes happen too often, because I fear those last 10 minutes.
All right, let's go ahead, Tanner.
No, I was just going to say it, in honor of American football season now sort of being in full swing. There's a saying here when teams sort of sit back in a shell, it's called a prevent defense, and all it does is prevent you from winning.
Well,
we definitely did that today. Yeah, we definitely did that today. I mean, I think I was saying that on the watch along. We were in possession. We had 70% of the ball. Next thing you know, for the last 10 minutes of the game, whatever we just did, they went out the window, and we couldn't hold on to the ball long enough to at least slow down the pressure that was coming. We weren't, that goal. Usually, we have people flying at the ball when it comes in close to our box. It seemed like we didn't have that today when we needed it, right? And they were able to get that goal past our goalie. But yeah, we got to play 90. We got to play 90. Yeah.
Well, and I think and part of it too is it's not our job to stop scoring goals. It's the other team's job to stop us from scoring. So why are we stopping ourselves? Keep your foot on the gas. I understand that maybe there's a bit of a gentleman's agreement that you don't want to embarrass the other side, but embarrass the other side. That's professional sports. Just go out and do your job. Go score. That's your job. Go score. It's not Arsenal's job to stop Arsenal from scoring. Sorry, I got loud.
But that's the whole Pepe thing, right? Pepe got 2 touches in about a 5-minute span. Good things happened, and then guess what happened when we were struggling? He barely got the ball out there on the wing where he could make something happen, and the other team jumped on that.
I could count easily 3 or 4 opportunities that I saw. Now, again, I'm seeing a bit of a bird's eye view. We're all seeing a bit of a bird's eye view watching the match on TV. Easily after the second goal, we had the ball, and we could have reversed the play, switched the play to the other side where Pepe was wide open. I mean, the next closest person to him was the hot dog vendor. You know what I'm saying? And whoever it was that had the ball, be it Kieran Tierney, it might have been Granit Xhaka, just kind of like, nope, I'm going to kick it. I'm going to, make the safe play back here, or I'm going to make the safe play just, 10 yards in front of me. And I'm not saying it would have worked. I'm just saying it was the options were there, and we kind of missed some opportunities to continue to press.
Yeah,
so
I would like to see it, though. That's the thing, right? You want to see that, right?
Yep.
You give the ball to Pepe, let him do his work. He's happy. He scored. Why not let him get another goal or assist to finish this thing off and
build
put it to sleep. Put them to sleep. They don't have to think this game is coming back to them.
Just when you think you've completely put a team underwater, get your foot, put it on top of their head, and push further.
Exactly. We're happy to hear that you're feeling okay. My brother-in-law has seizures as well, so I know what they're like. It does take some time to recover from them, a few minutes. So glad you're doing well. Quick question here from Norma. I do love the optimistic because I'm more optimistic than realist, but I'm slightly realistic as well. But I do love this. But I'll go around the house. I'll start with Tony. I'm going to start off with, you want your players to go into every season not thinking they can get fourth, thinking, let's see how the season goes. And if it transpires, you're in that position. Why not try to go for the league? We're 3 points or whatever it is off the top now. We've lost 3. We've won 3 out of 4 games. For Tony, we want our players, and I think Arteta will have this mindset. Go into every game, you try to win every. I know that's Gary's viewpoint. Try to win every game, every competition, have the same intensity. Do we have a chance of winning the league, Tony? I mean, I know Liverpool. We know what Liverpool is.
I think we're lacking the quality quite to do it, but if we do approach it week by week, game by game, we could do it.
Yeah.
It's a tough challenge, but it's possible.
And by the way, it's worth debating. It's not. It's one person's opinion, and we respect all opinions here. Gary?
If the goal isn't to win the Premier League and sit at the top of the table from the start on the first day and on the last day, and then what, that's what everybody's doing. That's why we're here. That's why they signed up. That's why our fans go in the state. That's why we talk about them all the time, because the goal is to be on top, right? To get that trophy at the end, to walk up the stairs and go get your medal and your trophy. That's what the goal is. Will it happen when you want? No, and you have to be realistic about it.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning before this season started, we definitely felt like, you know what, we have a plan. We'll see it. Hopefully, we'll see it through.
I would be happy. I said after 10 games would be about 12 points off the pace. I still stand by that, but I would be happy to be close to the top and try to go for first place and get second, third, fourth. That would be a good season.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember, just one last thing, if you remember when the last time we finished second, there were opportunities in that season for us to be able to catch Leicester City, right?
Yep.
Yeah, if the goals are to win the league, then it doesn't matter how far down the table you are or how close you are to the top. You gotta strive for that. And I think as long as that's the goal at the end of the day, then I think you can't lose sight of that, right? Can't lose sight of that. And if you can take it game by game, then I think you're not looking at the rain, the pot at the end of the rainbow. You're just taking it one step at a time. And I think we got a team that can do that if we can focus. Because even today, right, we need to focus for 90 minutes, and if we don't, somebody will take it away from us. So,
right. Number camp. I don't think the other top six are much stronger than us. Maybe on paper, you're looking at Chelsea and thinking, but we saw what happened to Man United here. Leicester had a weird result as well. I think we have as good a chance as any of those other 5 teams. I think Liverpool is a step ahead of us. Mahir, can we win the league?
I mean, if we win the league, I'm running down the street absolutely buck naked, live, on stream. I know nobody wants to see that. We are excited.
The ice bucket challenge as well, right?
Photographic evidence, or it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, unless I'm missing something, we may be in third place right now.
I mean, look, I'd love for it to happen. It would be an absolute miracle with the players. Ross Barkley, what a strike, 5-1. What?
We broke.
There goes Liverpool goal difference. Right there.
Yeah. So
all right, you're gonna have a party.
Yeah, so we're in third place right now. If it continues the way it is. Wow.
Madness.
Wow.
Utter madness.
Mahir, finish your thought.
Yeah, like I say, it would be an absolute miracle. Lung Burkham says he'll join me. So, I mean, it would be phenomenal. Do we have a chance? Possibly. Let's see after 10 games. I want to see realistically after 10 games what's going on.
Yeah.
Because if other clubs slip up as much as they've been slipping up now and continue to slip up, I mean, it could get really, really interesting.
And Lumber Camp, I love you and all of that, but we have to see what players we can get tomorrow. And
exactly.
Let's see if a semi-madness comes into it, because Tanner and I are 2 supporters. We differ on the amount of money that the working capital we could have, and nobody knows. Nobody knows what's in the coffers to spend.
Pure guess. Just and again, hopeful. I guess I'm being more optimistic than you this time, right?
Yes. You're freaking me out here. Can we win the league?
Is the sun going to come up tomorrow?
Yes.
We can win the league.
The bear shit in the woods.
Is the Pope Catholic, or combine the two? Does the Pope shit in the woods?
Yeah. All right, listen, we haven't previewed the game. We haven't reviewed the game today. Tony, did we just see the future? Arsenal 2, Sheffield United 1. 2 great goals across 5 minutes. Arsenal kind of sparked into play. Willian didn't kind of do great. Pepe came on and he made the difference. And I'm happy to see Pepe doing that. The challenge was set to him by Williams playing well against Fulham. And he's got his chances, and now he's starting to respond.
Yeah, Saka is definitely the future. I think Pepe is. If we finally give him the run of games he deserves, for whatever reason, Arteta just starts and stops him. He needs a solid run of games.
Mm-hmm.
Get his confidence up. Take off like he should be able to.
And Tony, did we see the future of Aubameyang possibly playing through the middle with flanked by Saka and Pepe?
It was so dynamic. It's kind of hard to say it. Sometimes we're playing 2 up front, 3 up front, single.
Tony, I want to stay with you for a second. Do you think Arteta wanted to see a game with Aubameyang play through the middle in terms of maybe Lacazette could get sold tomorrow?
I think he could get sold tomorrow, but I don't think that's why he went with that formation. Is something he was trying out.
And David Luiz very nearly doing what David Luiz does every half dozen games, shirt pull.
Yeah, about every 3 games, not every.
I bet Chris Wilder was castigating his player for not dropping to the ground. You drop to the ground there, you give the referee a decision to make, and David Luiz gets sent off in that situation.
And what was crazy was Luiz going off for 5 minutes, yelling at Gabriel. Gabriel pointed and told him what he was going to do there on the pass.
Now, if we're spending money, we have to spend it correctly. It looks like Gabriel is a player for the future.
He's definitely the signing of the summer so far.
So far for us. Gary?
Yeah, I think Gabriel is what we wanted, right? So I think we got what we needed. A guy in the middle if we need to go to the 3 in the back. I think, especially the Luiz we saw today. Will we see it again? Probably. Will it cost us?
Yeah.
Most likely. So, it'll be. So I think we've got at least a start on our back line as far as that goes. I mean that Luiz. As I watched the play, my initial thought was, why didn't you just stick your foot out and stop that ball from rolling in front of you? That would have killed it right there. But it's a little. But yeah, I think you were talking about as far as the future with Saka and Pepe. I think this is what we've all said, right? Is that those 2 players out there make things happen. They always seem to be in the right places. When's the last time we've had a header set up like that in a while? They don't happen too often. Usually it's on a cross, but that one, that's what we want, right? We want our players on the outside by themselves with a header right at the goal and nobody there. The defender's there, but it's too late. That's what we want. And that 5 minutes should be on replay and for the next 2 weeks, right? Mm-hmm. That segment of play should go on there because this is how we want to play. We definitely have the talent. You put, even if Pepe can't go 90 minutes, but if I got 60 minutes of that to start a game and we're pulling him in, to bring on defensive help, that should be where we go, right? Until he's ready to go 90, let him go out there and do what he just did in the last 30 minutes of that game for as long as he can. And then, because if we get what we saw today, we're going to get opportunities to score. Either he's going to do it or he's going to put the ball on a plate for somebody to do the same.
Yeah, well said. Here.
Here. Rule, I love your comments, Rule. I think we have to take COVID seriously when it comes to players. It can possibly weaken a lot of teams come game day, which means we need to do some business tomorrow. We all know that. It's going to be interesting tomorrow, and I think, Tanner, you're going to have a kind of a transfer market watch on your channel.
Yeah, I'm gonna do just basically a live show where just kind of pay attention to the different news outlets and just kind of report on breaking news, and I'll have some guests on the show throughout the day, and basically just dissect some transfers. Hopefully we get some news of our own, to talk about. I don't really want to sit here and talk about all the.
Let's do a madness tomorrow. Let's all be fast tomorrow. I would love it. Really appreciate everyone watching right now. It's great. We're building a community here. Let's push it 300. Let's get to 500. Let's get to 1,000 by the end of the season. And slap a like on the video. It really does help. I keep asking. And if I get to 30, I'm going to do something weird. You know what I mean? Tanner.
Whoa. Settle down there, cowboy. Settle down.
I'm not gonna run down the street. I'm not gonna do a my here weird, but I'm gonna do something weird.
It's a family show, muchacho.
Yes, sir.
He's a sing for us.
Tanner,
He's a sing for us.
I'm gonna sing.
He's got the Beatles haircut, so
that could be the reason why I'm not getting 30 likes. 26, 29. Your take on the game, Tanner? Just break it down for me.
All right. So I was kind of in and out for the first 20 minutes. I didn't really get a chance to see it. I have 3 4-legged children, so getting them squared away in the morning. And look, early mornings aren't really my thing, especially when I was up till about 3:30 in the morning last night. So, so the first 20 minutes I can't really comment on intelligently because I didn't see much of it. I had it on. I was just doing other things. From what I saw in the first half, it was just uneventful. It was like a heavyweight fight where each fighter, they're just kind of, moving around the ring, tapping gloves. We didn't really, at no point did I really think we were close to scoring. I missed the David Luiz shirt pull, so I'm not going to comment on that. I know it happened, but I didn't see it. So, and it was sort of that way into the second half too. We had the ball, but we're really, really, really missing that creative midfielder. Earth, wind, fire, and fart on that.
Which one are you, Connor?
Which one am I in that?
Yeah, which one?
I know that's.
I mean,
yeah.
I just, I'm like I'm a 7-year-old sometimes. I'm taking fart because it's just fun,
All right, which one do you want to be?
Wait. No, we need to ask Sam which one he thinks each of us are.
Yeah, he put fart in there. So it doesn't matter as long as whoever gets fart. Let's hear about that one first.
yeah. So I want to know from Sam which one we all are. As far as the game goes, it into the second half, I really, it was just kind of the same thing. We're really missing that creativity. But when Norma Grealish 6'2", Aston Villa might be top of the league by the time this date. Well, they won't be because they still have they won't have as many points as Everton. But when Pepe came on, and Aubameyang moved into the middle and led the line, is really where that's really where everything started to turn, because it just all of a sudden we were just going at them, and so the 2 goals, just absolutely brilliant. I need to give Mohamed El Neni, put some respect on his name, because that dude is doing a job right now. I don't care if he only cost I don't even remember what he cost. What, $5 million? It doesn't matter what he cost. Put some respect on that man's name, because when he's on the pitch, every time he's been on the pitch for this club this season, he has done well. He has not had I don't think he's had anything below a 7 out of 10 performance this season. And today, 8. I had 9 is like, man, you know what? No, I'm giving him the 9. I'm giving Mohamed El Neni a 9 today because he created the first goal. He dragged 3 defenders into the 18-yard box, laid a brilliant ball off to Aubameyang for the 1 touch to Hector Bellerin, for the floating cross right over the top to Bukayo Saka for the header for the goal. That goal is made and started by Mohamed El Neni. So respect on his name. Second goal, brilliant individual effort. So you take the 2 goals today. The first goal is really that's old Arsenal. That's it's beautiful team build up. It's a beautiful team goal.
Yep.
Everybody seems to get a touch, but then the second goal from Pepe is just it's a brilliant individual effort. Just and that's great to see that we can score goals in both ways. So and then Gary said, of course, at the end of the game, the last 10 minutes, it's like prevent defense. Just again, continue attacking because that's where we're the most dangerous. When we sit back in a shell and just try to absorb the pressure, look what happens.
Yeah.
Hey, look what happens. I'm sorry. I think we should have won that game today 2-0. I hate the fact that we conceded that goal.
Like I said earlier, I think Kieran Tierney shows him inside, and he's basically telling the guy, see if he can score from there, and that's what he did because the percentages.
Yeah. And I don't want to take anything away from Goldrick because it was a great strike. I mean, full credit to him. As I said before, the other guys get paid to play too. So great strike from McGoldrick. I don't want to take anything away from him, but we should have been dominating more than that. They never even should have had the opportunity, in my opinion.
It's looking to me like the Fridge had a better game than Virgil van Dijk, if I'm reading that correctly. The Virgil van Dijk hasn't streaked the game at all. Gary, give us your final synopsis on the game today, then.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't. I wanted to, and I forgot. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say at the time. But yeah, so I did get to watch the whole game with Tony. We're sitting there, and at halftime, we're like, "Well, look at this. We've got over 70% of the possession. We've only given up one shot. They've only had one shot, one goal attempt.
Yeah.
Problem was, we only had 4.
Yep.
Because that's usually when we're at our worst. We usually see those kind of stats on our side where we got 4 goals attempts. I think a couple were on target, but we only gave up 1 goal attempt in that first half. I think they may have got that. They may have got triple, quadruple that in the last 10 minutes. But so that's where we should be pulling away from them, right? We have possession. We had more attempts. We should have had a lot more attempts on goal. It was definitely making you sleepy because we just nothing good was happening on any of the attacking thirds. They weren't getting close. We weren't for some reason getting close enough to make the approach. And that's how the first half went. And with 5 minutes left in the half, I said, you know what, let's just hold on, please. Let's just get to the half with at least a tie. We did that. Came out second half, expected to see something different. I don't feel like I saw any difference there for the first 10 minutes of the second half.
Yeah.
So once again, it's like, are we going to make this one a stressor, for us? 16 minutes to go, they make a change, I think, and then we bring on Pepe, and he does what he's supposed to do. This is what we expect him to do. He gets the ball out there with someone on him, without someone on him, doesn't really matter. I mean, the pass he makes to I think he makes the pass to El Neni, who then El Neni pops it out to Bellerin for the cross. Yeah, for the cross.
Tonight.
Yeah, so I think he popped that ball. Pepe pushed that ball out there in traffic, and next thing you know, we got a header and things look good. And that's what we want. We want to see that, and so hopefully, like I said, hopefully they put that on replay and say, look, this is what we can do.
Yeah.
And when Eddie came off, I was like, wow, all right. I
was pretty happy.
I thought Willian was coming off because usually that's what we do, right? We used to go like for like there, and we
like for like, yeah.
And we didn't do that. And I and those 4 up top, I think, if they get to play more than 30 minutes, of a game, I think, especially when they're fresh, we like to see that as well. And I think that's where we want to see those 4 up top there, putting pressure on the goalies.
Where did Willian go to play then when
He played behind. I think he played behind Aubameyang, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, and
was he playing directly behind, and then Saka moved forward.
Yeah.
To play on the left?
Yeah, that was the other thing that was happening as well. We're sitting there trying to figure out what the formation of the team was. At one point, El Nenny's in the middle. And next thing, he's back, is playing in the left back or right back. They were all over the place, and it was solid still. It wasn't like they were out of place and like bad things were happening. No, it did. Everybody knew their role. It seemed like they all supported themselves. Whatever the formation was, they always seemed to be the right person in the right spot. They were moving to the ball. There's none of this retreating backwards, absorbing the pressure. They didn't have a chance to get set on us, And that's one thing that I noticed in the Liverpool game is when we had the ball, there was somebody coming at us at all times. One person was coming at us. Today, same thing. When they got the ball, there was somebody coming at them. They had to make a decision, And then at some point, you would see like 2 and 3 people attack the ball. We get the ball back and we settle, and then go back the other way. It was great to see. That's what we wanted. That's what we should be able to do to teams that are below us on the table.
First half, we didn't do that. The first half, we didn't see much of that. It wasn't until Pepe came on and we moved some things around. Now, defensively, we saw that, but offensively, we didn't see the triangles with the options and the players in support of the ball. Everybody, they'd get the ball, and it was just sort of you're on an island waiting for someone else to make a run. But defensively, and this is, I think, exactly what you want as a football manager. Defensively, you want the structure, and you want everybody to know what their responsibilities are defensively. Very structured, very okay. When this is here, then you're over here. And Mo El Neni was dropping back again. I'm about to go buy myself a Mo El Neni jersey here. I'm in love with this guy right now.
No, he is a Swiss Army knife. He will fit every situation.
All of a sudden, he could be the player to supplant Ainsley Maitland-Niles in that role. In that, you need somebody to drop back and play and play at a right back or a right wing back to cover Hector Bellerin, making that run into the middle, because he always makes that run into the middle. I like the first half. I'm watching Hector Bellerin. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like you're at midfield. Go back and back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna on the you said his name, so I'm gonna bring it up. And there was a point in the game. Oh my gosh! Wow.
Wait. I mean, whose name got who? Bellerin?
No. So you brought up Bellerin, but then I just looked at the score of the Liverpool game. I don't know if you can see it. But...
Oh my! What? Touchdown and a safety.
No, exactly. This is not supposed to happen. You brought up Bellerin, and we were talking about they were talking about man of the match, I think, on some of the posts, and it was like, to me, besides Pepe, there was 11 players that could have been man of the match, because we were playing as a team. We were getting whatever we wanted in that game. The one thing I'm going to say, I guess, about Bellerin is that on the offensive side, he was good. On the defensive side, he let up, and you could see that there's one point in the game where I was sitting there. I think it was Tony and I was sitting there, and it was like, really, I think it was Tierney, right? Not Tierney. Who was playing behind him, and I'm like, where is the defender that's supposed to come back and help him? Of course, it's Bellerin who's stuck up by, knows where he is. He's off the screen. I can't see him, and he gets up so far, and he can't get back.
He can't get back fast enough, right?
He can't get back. And on the offensive side, this is what we want from him. But if he's gonna do both, he needs to be able to. He needs to put himself in a position where he's not putting himself out of the play when the counterattack comes.
He can't leave the back line exposed. He can't leave his position exposed, and that's where it was, because more often than not today, when that happened and he got caught up field, playing offensively, but then they got the ball and they're countering, you would see Mo El Neni drop back into that right back position to provide the cover. So sort of back to the real teams lose 8-2.
Maybe they are there. Maybe they're coming. Maybe they're coming to. It's not over yet.
But as I said, defensively, you want to be structured. You want everybody to know and understand their role defensively. Offensively, what I liked when Pepe came on was players seemed to be moving in and around one another and getting into other areas. Willian was playing in behind Aubameyang, in behind the front three, but then all of a sudden you'd see him out on the left and Saka would drift into the middle. And again, Pepe would drift into the middle. I like the creativity. I like the more free-flowing, hey, you use your vision, use your instincts to get into those gaps and into those lanes to create space for yourself to receive the ball and make a play. I don't like structure offensively. I don't want players offensively to, no, you're the left wing, you stay over on the left. And we have very creative and instinctful offensive players. And I released the handbrake, as it were.
Yeah.
You
know, how good could it be if we get a couple of creative midfielders and just spark our transfer through midfield quicker to release Pepe in those situations where he can take on one or two players and do a madness. An Henry-esque goal today.
Yeah, I don't. That's rarefied air, man. I heard it on the broadcast too. And when I heard it on the broadcast, I was kind of like,
the action was amazing.
Yeah, it was. I hesitate to put anybody in that rarefied air. So that's just me.
It's the Henry-esque.
Yes. Yeah, there we go.
But you know what? He's nobody, right? He's Pepe right now. Right?
Yeah.
And you know, he's doing things that we want him to do, and when he does them well, it's not even when he does them well. When he does them, good things always happen, right? He's got people flying at him. He's able to get the ball out, make the right pass, make the shot. When when he was going, I think if it's on the replay, I believe when he got the ball, I'm like, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna shoot? He shot. It's like that's what you could see the play coming, right? You could see it happening, and it's like by the time they thought about it, too late. Ball's in the back, and that hope, like I said. Pepe, here's 5 minutes of what I want you to take away for the next 2 weeks. Look at that. I want to see that again. It's there. I want to see it. I want to put, this is how you get on the field. And if that means that they're going to have to play Willian and Pepe out together, then so be it, Laka comes in to support Alba if that's the case, right? And that's what we expected to see, right? We expected to see that, especially if it's going to work in these types of games.
I think things open up. And I've been saying this, and Ray and Tony and Gary, I think even to a degree, I think you've heard me say it. Things are really going to open up, I think, offensively for this team when we start playing Aubameyang through the middle. Because it's going to allow the natural wingers that we have on this team to play in their natural positions. And Aubameyang came to us as a striker, not a left winger. I just think he's better through the middle. We have Pepe on the right. Willian can play in the middle behind him. And this is if we don't get Aouar, if we don't get Partey's not really the creative midfielder, but we have an absolute glut of attacking options. I think we saw. I think we got a pretty good glimpse of the future today. Say again, Ray?
I think we'll have the discussion for another podcast because we
yeah.
diverge a little bit on that one.
All of a sudden, I could open Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we saw it in the last match, right? We saw 4 at the back, it seemed, and we're like, okay, we know that's what we believe he wants to do. And then today we saw the 4 up the top that we thought we would see, especially if we need to attack. And once we went to that attack, we got what we wanted, right? I mean, it almost seems like we should have brought Maitland-Niles in the same time as Pepe to shore up that back, right? Because we get some fresh legs back there, and maybe that was the move. But he came in a little too late. Yeah.
I'm wondering, Mahir, if you're coming back in because we're going to finish out with one segment. We had a lot to get through today. We're going to carry some of those points over to Thursday night. We're going to talk about the Europa League draw on Thursday night. It's kind of apt because those games are going to be on Thursday nights. And we're going to talk about the Premier League review. on Thursday night, and we're going to talk about Liverpool and what happened. We can't talk about it intelligently tonight, but we will definitely go through everything that happened in the Premier League over this weekend. I want to finish with kind of a tribute to Lucas Torreira, because this channel got started in part because of Lucas Torreira. Mahir and I were in a WhatsApp group, and I told him it was the game against Huddersfield. If you remember the bicycle kick goal,
I was there.
Lucas, you were there as well, and you were there at the North London derby. That's why I'm glad that you're here today, Tanner, because I want to get your take on Torreira. We're going to give him the respect that he deserves. He didn't get a fair shake in his time here, and we have to highlight that and talk about that. But Mahir and I were doing this WhatsApp group. I told Mahir, chill out, we're going to get that goal. We were struggling to beat Huddersfield at the time. Came into the last 10 minutes, and probably a large part of it was me telling Mahir to chill out, we're going to get that goal. I was like, you know what, we got to do something together. We're going to start a channel, and here we are. We're getting great people like Tanner, Tony, and Gary. Everyone else that has been on the channel, big up yourselves, and everyone in the comments. You're all part of the group now. I always say we're just the guys up in front and center. You get to see our ugly mugs every week, but all of you in the comments, you have just as much part to play in this channel. So big up everyone. We're gonna hit 300 pretty soon. Let's get to 1,000 by the end of the year, and when we can see Mahir, I'm gonna bring you in on the. Lucas Torreira, we owe that 5 foot whatever. We owe a lot to him for starting this channel. So big up Lucas Torreira, and wish him well and let it go. And he's going to help Arsenal moving forward as well.
Of course. I mean, nothing bad to say about the little guy. We loved him. We honestly loved that guy. And like you say, that's what started off the whole shebang. We wouldn't have the panel. We wouldn't have each other as a brotherhood. Yeah, every week discussing all the matters that have to do with our beloved club, and we wish him all the best. I would have loved to have kept him and sold somebody else. As Tony Tony would know who that is. Then I'm sure you would know who it is again as well. But like I say, we wish him all the best at Atletico Madrid, and I hope he succeeds and becomes a hell of a player wherever he goes.
Yeah. Let's go to Tanner. You've seen him score goals now, more than one goal for the Arsenal in person. The North London derby, everyone remembers that. First goal for Arsenal against the enemy, and then a goal against Huddersfield. He scored numerous goals since then, but.
Well, the winner against Huddersfield, and I was actually in the club level in the North Bank, which is where he scored that winner against Huddersfield. I really had high hopes for him when he came in. He'd just come off a World Cup with Uruguay, where it was masterclass after masterclass from Lucas Torreira as a defensive midfielder. He was just a bulldog with winning the ball back. That's what he does, and then. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, Unai Emery said, "Yeah, you were all right there, but you know what? I'm Unai Emery. Good evening, and I'm going to put you as a number 10." And he ruined him. And all of a sudden, I'm not going to put him in the Patrick Vieira, even Gilberto Silva, but he could have filled the role. And I think, unfortunately, Unai Emery really kind of ruined him by trying to turn him into something that he's just not. And unfortunately, he hasn't really recovered from that. I'm telling you, mark my words, Lucas Torreira is going to be a good player for Atletico Madrid if that deal goes through, because I've not heard that the deal has actually gone through. Apparently, it's based on them either moving on Thomas Lamar or someone else.
Hector Herrera or something.
Hector Herrera. Yeah, Hector Herrera. So he's going to be a good player under Diego Simeone. I guarantee you he's going to be a good player under Diego Simeone. So
never really fulfilled.
I will want to say again, Ray.
He never really fulfilled his true potential with us.
No, he wasn't, and it's not his fault. That's the thing. It's not his fault. I 110% blame Unai Emery for stunting his growth. No pun intended. Pun fully intended.
Yeah. Got it. He was really great at turning the ball, going the other direction, and then, as you said, Unai Emery, he took one of his best parts of the machine, Tony, and turned it into. He put the engine somewhere where it would never needed to be.
Yeah. I don't want to blame Emery because Arteta had plenty of time to use him too. We've just never used him as a central defensive midfielder, which he is. And going back to where Tanner started off, I think the long World Cup, traveling between South America and
Mark and Ronaldo.
He never settled in. Plus, Emery was constantly using him. He was always in the yellow that season. I just think he got tired out and kind of fell out of love with playing football. I think has more to do with anything. And he's sitting there with a wrong mentality, sitting there crying over the Saka incidents. That's kind of where I lost faith.
That was his brewski in midfield. So, I feel for him a little bit in that situation. That's a player he plays with in midfield. And when you're playing with somebody in midfield, you're directly in contact with them. You have to be on the same page. So, got to cut him a little bit of slack there. But definitely tough for him. When Arteta comes in and any new coach comes in, Gary, there's always going to be players that don't quite fit in. And he wasn't damaged goods. He could have been recovered if Arteta really wanted to do that with Torreira.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen that with a lot of the players on the team that we thought would be pretty much out of here, but actually they've shown that they're worthwhile keeping. And if we can't get rid of them, then at least Arteta's been able to get something out of them. And I would be surprised that it's more Torreira that wants to leave than it is Arteta not being able to get more out of him based on what I've seen so far. I mean, I feel like he's been able to get a lot out of his players when when they do what's required. If Torreira is done with England and Arsenal, then you got to do what makes you feel happy. And if he's not happy here, then I guess we got to let him go. But I mean, I feel like you look at the highlights of what he does, and it's like, well, that's kind of what we need, right? We need that, and he doesn't want to. I mean, that's why I feel like it's not all Arteta not putting him out there as much as he's probably done, and he could see himself back, more comfortable surroundings.
Yeah.
I mean, with that being said, that's what I thought initially was the same thing with Saliba, is that he was going to go back to France and kind of play close to home and kind of get himself right mentally and feel a little bit more settled, and then get back into the grind again. But
I heard you guys talk about him possibly being loaned to a Premier League team, staying in England, which doesn't make sense to me at all. For Saliba.
No, I don't understand that one at all, because that makes absolutely no sense at all. I can see him going back home, because I thought that was the reason why he wasn't going to play and they're going to loan him out. But I can't see, this doesn't work for you here, but we're going to let you play with some teams down the road. I can't see that working long term and being anything positive come out of it that you want, because you want him playing with Gabriel. You want him learning as much as he can from like the Luizes on the team, right? He's not going to get a lot of playing time at some of these other teams, and if he does, it may be punishing, right? You don't want him to be in a situation where he's going to be getting killed because it's just him sitting, looking there. There's nobody in front of him to stop anything, which is what we kind of have here. But I think we've got a plan, and we've been doing better as a team to do that. So I always felt like we had a team that would be able to support him in his time of need, more than any other team out there. Because we went out, we paid him. We said, you know what, go back to Paris, go back to France. I mean, finish off the season, and then we'll bring you back, right?
Also, if you are going through a grieving process, losing one's mother at that young age, it's got to be a huge, horrible thing to happen to somebody at such a young age. To recover from that, yeah, we can understand if you're going to go back to your family in France and be closer to them. The next best thing would be within the confines of your friends and your teammates who are going to give you some support. Why would you be shipped off to another Premier League team to have to go through that process seemingly all alone. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. But I'm not privy to what's going on behind the scenes. But big up to William Saliba. Hopefully he can get through this process. It's a very, very tough thing to happen to anyone, and I completely understand. We need to give him that time to develop. And best wishes to Lucas Torreira as well. Whoever said under Simeone he's going to progress, that's absolutely true. He's going to be a good player for Atletico. He's actually a perfect fit for them. I'd like to have gotten a little bit more money. Tanner, thanks. Tony, let's get out of here with the Tony Don Juan man in the match, and then we'll cap it off just after 2 hours here.
Yeah, there's a lot of 7s and 8 performances. If I didn't give it to a sub last week, I'd give it to Pepe, but I'll give it to Saka since he played 4 or 5 positions.
Would you give it to Saka?
Yeah, Saka.
Yeah, and in a situation, a game where you could have any number of players, Gary, you could have had Bellerin, you could have had a Pepe. It actually speaks to the team performance. It's very difficult to pick the man in the match. But before you get into that, I'm just going to let Tanner go. I know he's going to leave right now, right?
Yeah, I got to take off, guys. Appreciate it. Good footy talk as always.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Hopefully we see you guys all soon. I'll put out a tweet later on tonight or tomorrow about tomorrow's live transfer deadline day show that I'm going to do over on my channel. So appreciate it, guys. We'll chat soon.
All right. Thank you. All right. See you later.
Yeah.
Gary, very, very even performance. It could have been any one of a few players, and that speaks to the team performance today.
Yeah. There was a list, and it had 4 plays on the list, and one of them was Bellerin, and I was like, but on the offensive side, yes, he definitely put pressure on them. The defensive side kind of brought him back and was one of the negatives that I saw. And I like I said, I felt like as a team, everybody was supporting each other. So even when there were gaps, they were able to help out. And they got small segments of that first half and the first 60 minutes of the game where they had opportunities to even think about scoring. So as a team, I think we did what we wanted to do. We just didn't have that. We didn't have that Pepe. We didn't have that pep in our step.
Pepe and the step. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Arsenal Fan Circle. If you found us for the first time, subscribe, join the community. We're growing here. We do pre-game review podcasts, and you can add to that watch-alongs here and there. Big props to the 3 of you here for doing the watch-along tonight, a little bit earlier today for the game. Really enjoyed it as well for you guys to be in there. Final words from, let's go, Mahir. Final take.
I just want to thank you guys all. I want to thank the panel for earlier on. I want to thank you, Ray, for giving us also opportunity. Ever since we started, the way we get our channel, this is the family. I'd like to thank all the subscribers and
here as well.
Yeah, I mean, Tony, Gary, absolutely everybody, man. These guys are such electric. The energy, I basically feed off the energy. Even as co-host, my job becomes so much easier. But much love to you all, and we just continue after 2 weeks and join us for the next one. Also, I mean, surely we have some interesting things in the pipeline, even for
the next one. We're going to get you on record about your predictions for this season, I hear. Tony, final word, Tony.
It kind of sucks when I take 2 weeks off when the league's just getting going and getting good. Yeah. Interesting weekend.
But we stay in 3rd place for 2 weeks as well.
Are we 3rd or 4th? I think we're still 4th.
Yeah, I think we're still 4th. I thought Liverpool was ahead of us. So, but yeah, we're definitely 4th now. Leicester City is still ahead of us on goal difference, and Aston Villa. So, of course. Yeah.
Anything else, Tony?
It was fun this morning on the watch along, even though my hair disappeared on us. Gary continued on with his good commentary and didn't notice my hair was for 20 minutes.
Mahir is going to do what Mahir is going to do. I can't control him. Gary?
Yeah. It was. I enjoyed today double dipping in the watch along with Tony and Mahir. I definitely enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun. And then getting to do this again to review it is really nice. So I'm enjoying it. Thank you, Ray, for letting me join and join in the fun here. We'll talk about the team we love. So I'm definitely enjoying that. Yeah, disappointed that it's going to be. It's going to be 2 weeks from now when we get to do this again. I like this. This is a good teaser. This is the way we're going to end. But I'd like to see us come back just the same way we left it.
Yeah.
Somebody just said just saw. I don't know if you saw that there. Guendouzi off. Wow, that's good. We need we need to. He needs to do something. And if he means he needs to go, then that's what needs to happen. So that's a positive.
A positive as well, Gary, is we would not be doing this. We would not be allowing Torreira and Guendouzi to leave if we did not have confidence that we're going to do something tomorrow. So if this is the final word I say. Have confidence tomorrow, Arsenal fans. Trust the club. I know it's difficult to trust the club, but give them one more day and let's talk. Let's. If you want to freak out when the deadline comes and goes tomorrow. But wait till tomorrow. Give it one more day.
Yeah.
So that's great news, Will. Thanks for giving us that. And somebody only trusts Romano. Okay, so somehow Fabrizio Romano has become the god all of a sudden lately. So, but anyway,
yeah,
we have. I think Tony's trying to verify it there. I'm going to close it out, Tony. We have gone a record distance, probably 2 hours and 10 minutes here. Thanks for your time, everybody. Today, we have topics we have to talk about. On Thursday, we're going to talk about the Europa League, and we're going to talk about what madness happened in the Premier League. We're all going to dash off and watch the highlights of the Aston Villa-Liverpool game right now, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Until then, slap a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and join the community and join everyone in the comments here. It's great to see.
Thank you.
Coming back. We keep doing it, and as long as that happens, well, we're going to keep doing it anyway. But we love having you all here. See you Thursday. Come on, you Gooners. We are in the top 4.
Yes.
We're going to do Thursdays. We're going to do Sundays. We'll see you then, everyone.
Have a nice day.